Okay, Dimash fans, the wait is over. Today I am reacting to Sinful Passion. Before we dive on in, if you love reactions from professional vocal coaches in the industry, I have worked with Grammy winners, TV stars, many touring artists, and I would love to have you join me for this journey. So make sure and hit that subscribe button. Okay, let's dive on in.
Казахстан всегда гордился и гордится своими талантами. Сейчас на сцену выйдет представитель уже нового поколения казахстанских звезд. Парень раньше нас, друзья, с вами понял, где больше зрителей, поехал в Китай. И, между прочим, там, внимание, победил в проекте «Голос». В Китае человек из Казахстана победил с хитом А-студио «Грешная любовь». Впервые на новой волне. Прорыв года. Димаш Кудайбергенов.
С песней «Грешная страсть».
Look, they have signs. Oh, it's so cool how much they love him.
Ты явилась нежданно, как из лунного сна. О, если б знала ты, что мне нужна, только ты одна. Линии долгие лилии.
It's very different from what I've heard before of him.
Были ночи без сна, но в стуже сердце озарило, как весна. Только ты.
Okay. Let's talk about this. So what he's doing here is different from anything I've ever heard him do before. So he's using something called the vocal fry. So the vocal fry, if you want to experiment with yourself back at home, you want to go to the lowest part of your voice and kind of make this sound. The vocal fry is something that can be a really great tool in singing. It can sound really cool like what he's doing on this verse. It's easier to access the vocal fry in our lowest end. Taking that vocal fry up is what's called the creak. And eventually you can kind of manipulate the creak and the fry into making vocal screams, which is a really fun technique in a lot of different genres actually. So very interesting that he's using this approach to tell this verse. I'm really liking it. It creates a different level of drama. You know, when we're speaking and just telling a story, if we have the vocal cry in our voice, it creates this feeling of maybe sadness or exhaustion or tiredness. It does the same thing when we sing. If we're singing with the vocal fry, it can create a very similar effect. So I'm loving this tool that he uses. What I love about Dimash is that he's so strategic with his tools. He clearly has a lot of tricks up his sleeve, but he's not just using them all at once. That would be very overwhelming because he's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve. He's very strategic to use specific ones to tell a specific story, which is the mark of any great performer. So loving this so far. Very interesting, Sir Dimash. Let's keep listening on.
Долгим огнем пылать в мгле и ненастье. Дай мне ночью и днем сгорать в костре грешной страсти.
I love that tone down there that he has.
Ночь сомкнула ресницы.
These lyrics are so powerful.
И вокруг тишина. Забыты звуки, руки, лица. Не нужна только ты одна. Околдован тобою.
So clear on that tone.
Выпью зелье до дна. И ты вернешь меня из бездны в этот мир твой.
little crack in his voice, that little vocal crack. That's awesome.
Долгим огнем пылать в огне и пенасти.
Hey, sir.
Дай мне ночью и днем сгорать в костре грешной страсти.
Uh-oh. Here he goes. Oh my gosh! Dimash! It's another E above women's high C. I don't know why I'm still so shocked to hear him doing this, but it is still kind of shocking, okay? I'm still pretty new to all this Dimash stuff. So that is just so amazing. He just held that note out for a long time. I mean, that's pretty amazing, y'all. A lot of times when singers are jumping through registers from their lowest chest voice to maybe right on their bridge, up to their mix, up into their head voice, a lot of times the big challenge that they face is finding balance. How do we find that balance? Because we might have found a good little way to sing in our chest voice, but if we try to sing that exact same way in our mix, it's not always going to work. It might kind of fall apart, actually. So what I love about him is he's such a skilled singer that he has an amazing balance throughout his entire range. So when he's making these big jumps, it looks effortless because for him, it is effortless. He's balanced out his voice. That is the mark of not just a really talented singer, but a very well-trained singer at that. Wow. Okay, let's keep listening now. Look at that face. He's still performing. He might not be singing, but he's still performing. Wow. Oh my, yes! Give this man flowers! They need to all be on their feet. I don't know what any of them are doing except that.
Видел бы эту картину Басков сейчас. Боюсь, у Коли был бы сердечный приступ.
So I'm gonna have to tell me who that is. Baskov.
Димаш Кудайбергенов, аплодисменты!
Спасибо большое. С вашего позволения, я бы хотел бы сказать пару слов и выразить огромную благодарность группе «Астудия» и Байгали аға, сізге үлкен рахмет за то, что вдохновляете нашу молодежь и за то, что воспитываете правильное музыкальное направление. Счастья вам! Приезжайте в Казахстан, мы вас любим очень!
Димаш Кудайбергенов.
What a nice, kind guy. I so always talk about what a nice guy is. It's so, you can just see it.
На сцену приглашаются профессиональные сочинские носильщики, чтобы унести цветы Димаша Кудайбергенова.
I want to go to Kazakhstan now. Oh my gosh. Like, let's all hang out. Wow, that was amazing. I don't even know where to begin, like what to talk about first, because he just did so many things. It's just like my head's about to explode. But let's talk about the one thing that really stood out there. I'm actually just gonna rewind to the part that I'm talking about. Okay, here it is. Okay, that's amazing. So what that is kind of a unique vibrato that you hear typically only in Middle Eastern music. So you might hear this just in the Middle East. You hear something sort of similar to this in the Prince of Egypt soundtrack. This is a type of vocalization you just don't typically hear in Western music. Very surprising to hear him apply this to this particular song. Once again, he's so strategic with the choices that he uses. His execution of this unique vibrato is as clean as it gets too. I mean, I've seen different clients use this through the years and different singers use this, but not everybody does it as clean as this. Sometimes it kind of can go a little bit pitchy with some singers. He does this as well as anybody. I mean, he sounded right on the money. And then he takes it up like to the next part, which is this. So he starts off on Min's high C, so casual. We're just having a casual day on Min's high C. Then he goes up to an E. That's, again, I don't know why I'm so shocked with Dimash, but this is just so special that he is actually mixing, belting up to these notes. It takes so much training for females to do this, much less a man. He's getting through what's called his third bridge in his voice by the time he gets to an E. So that takes a lot of training to at first eliminate your bridges and then blend your registers together this seamlessly. This is just an amazing technician of sound and also an amazing performer. I know y'all have heard me talk about his performing abilities in my first reaction video. But what I love about this is even at the end, you can see he's still performing even when he's not singing into the microphone. This is like a masterclass and what it means to be a great performer. At the end of the day, we have to be great storytellers, and that involves more than just what's happening with our voice. What's cool about Dimash is he really gets that. It takes what we're doing with our entire body, how we're using that stage, how we're interacting with the audience. It takes all of that to make our performance actually move people. It takes more than just the voice, guys. That's so important to know. And I love watching these Dimash videos because so far he's batting 1,000. He is, 10 out of 10 when it comes to always making sure that he's fully telling the story with more than just his voice, which most people would listen to his voice and say, well, his voice speaks for itself. It's so amazing. He doesn't need to even, leave the microphone. He could just leave the microphone on a stand and just not move. Yeah, he could. His voice is that amazing. I mean, his voice is that entertaining in and of itself. But what I really love is that he doesn't just settle for his incredible talent vocally. He takes it to that next level of performance by making sure that he is fully engaged with his performance and storytelling aspect. Well, that is my reaction today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If so, make sure and hit that subscribe button to follow along for more reactions and content coming out of Jacob Burton Studios.